Hello to my fellow history lovers and people that think if I learn something new today, it will be a good day. So today we're going to talk about the Battle of Bunker Hill, which will be the third battle of the American Revolution. So this is how this sequence goes, and it's very logical when you think of it. First battle, remember, was Lexington and Concord. So British General Gage looked at Concord, heard they had gunpowder, thought if I get their gunpowder, they can't fight. So he sends 700 men to get the gunpowder. What he doesn't expect is the rebels stand up to him. There's actually a battle at Concord, and the rebels essentially chase his men back to Boston. And they gather around Boston, and he is now trapped in Boston, which had to be a mind-boggling situation because remember, he is basically the head of the most powerful army in the world. He's hiding out in Boston, and more rebels are basically encircling him. All right. Then, meanwhile, if you remember Arnold and Ethan Allen, this is number 2, Battle of Ticonderoga, which isn't really a battle because not a single shot is fired, but they've taken over Fort Ticonderoga because they thought we might be going to war with these guys, and if we do, we need some cannons and forts. So they've taken over Ticonderoga. So the third battle will be the Battle of Bunker Hill, and this is how it plays out. So Gage is basically hiding in Boston, and he wants to get his men out, but he hasn't figured out how to do it. So the rebels, meanwhile, are circling it stronger and stronger, and they get word that it's possible the British are going to try to take Bunker Hill, Breed's Hill, and try to bring some cannons up there so they can shoot down into the American camp and basically march out of Boston. So one night, the rebels think, well, we got to beat him to that hill. So they, in the middle of the night, take the hill and fortify it. They put in different fortifications. The British wake up one morning, they look on the hill, and now the rebels are looking down at them, so they think this cannot stand. So they basically go and they have 3 waves of attack. The first wave of attack, the rebels push them back, which is astonishing. Second wave, same thing, push them back. By the third wave, the rebels are almost out of gunpowder, and so the British are actually able to take the hill, but it doesn't really turn out that good for them because they've lost over 1,000 men and a lot of their officers, and they just think we can't afford another victory like this, right? They're kind of like if you think in chess, if you're a powerful position, but you've got enough pawns around you, you can't move to any of those squares, and that's how they feel like they can't move out of Boston because it's too dangerous. So what will happen is they basically are not much further ahead, and eventually the Americans will think, well, yeah, we don't have Breed's Hill and Bunker Hill, but you know what? Look at Dorchester Heights, and we'll get to that with the siege of Boston. Anyway, thank you for letting me share it. I will see you later.